The Plymouth GTX was positioned as a mid-sized, upscale-trimmed performance muscle car that offered both luxury and power. It came with two engine options: the standard 440 cubic inch V8 engine called the Super Commando 440, rated at 375 horsepower, or the optional 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 engine, rated at 425 horses. The Hemi engine was very expensive, costing an extra $546, which was more than 10% of the base price of the GTX. Only 720 GTX models came with a Hemi in 1967. The GTX was marketed as a gentleman's muscle car that combined style and performance. It was also very fast, accelerating from 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds and reaching a quarter-mile time of 13.5 seconds at 105 miles per hour. The 1969 Dodge Super B 446 pack was a muscle car that combined power, performance, and affordability. It was based on the Coronet Super B, but with a special engine option that boosted its output to 390 horsepower. The engine was a 440 cubic inch V8 with 3 two-barrel carburetors, also known as a six-pack. The name came from the six-pack of beer that the carburetors resembled. The six-pack engine was cheaper than the 426 Hemi, but almost as fast and powerful. It could run a quarter mile in 13.46 seconds at 103 miles per hour. The Super B 446 pack was a limited production model that was only available for half of the 1969 model year. It was also known as the A12 option, which was the code for the engine and hood package. Only 1,487 hardtops and 420 coupes were built with this option. The original list price of the 1969 Dodge Super B 446 pack was $3,539. The Charger RT was a popular muscle car from Dodge, but it had a problem. It was not very aerodynamic on the NASCAR tracks. To solve this, Dodge created a special edition called the Charger 500, which had a smoother front end and a more sloped rear window. The most potent version of the Charger 500 had the legendary 426 Hemi engine under the hood, which could pump out 425 horses and 490 pound-feet of torque with the help of dual 4-barrel carburetors. According to High Performance Cars magazine, the Charger 500 Hemi was one of the fastest cars of its time, as it could run the quarter mile in 13.35 seconds at 104 miles per hour. However, it was also very rare and expensive, as only 392 Charger 500 models were made in 1969, and only 27 of them had the Hemi engine and the 4-speed manual gearbox. The original price of the 1969 Charger 500 Hemi was around $4,000 to $5,000, but nowadays a Charger 500 Hemi can range from $108,000 to $239,000, depending on its condition. The 1968 Oldsmobile 442 W30 was a special edition of the 442 muscle car with a powerful 455 cubic inch V8 engine. It had a 4-barrel carburetor, dual exhausts, and a ram air induction system that boosted its performance. The W30 had an impressive 360 horsepower output. A 4-speed W30 was tested by CarLife and achieved 13.3 seconds at 103.3 miles per hour. The base 1968 Oldsmobile 442 cost $3,063, and the W30 option added another $263. Nowadays, it's a rare and valuable collector's car, with prices ranging from $30,000 to over $100,000 depending on the condition and originality of the vehicle. The 1964 Pontiac GTO Tri-Power is a legendary muscle car that was born out of a daring move by Pontiac engineers to break the GM rules and install a large 389 cubic inch V8 engine in a mid-size Tempest body. The name GTO stands for Gran Turismo Omologado, a term Ferrari uses to designate their racing cars. Pontiac borrowed the name without Ferrari's permission, and it became a trademark for their performance models. The Tri-Power option on the GTO added 3 two-barrel carburetors to the engine, boosting its horsepower from 325 to 348 and giving it a formidable performance on the road and the track. It could sprint from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds and complete a quarter mile in only 13.1 seconds. It was also a very affordable car that cost around $3,300. The heart of the L89 Camaro SS was its engine, a 396 cubic inch V8 that produced 375 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. But this was not just any V8. This was a V8 that had aluminum cylinder heads, which were lighter and more efficient than the cast-iron ones. These heads saved about 70 pounds from the front end of the car, improving its balance and handling. According to the 1969 Supercar Annual Magazine, the Camaro SSL89 completed the quarter-mile run in 13 seconds at 108.6 miles per hour. The L89 engine was a rare and expensive option, only available on the SS Camaro with the L78 engine. Only 311 Camaros were ordered with the L89 option in 1969 out of more than 243,000 Camaros produced that year. The Plymouth Roadrunner debuted in 1968 as a performance car that offered a lot of power for a low price. It shared the Chrysler B platform with the Dodge Charger and the Plymouth GTX, but it was more affordable and simpler. In 1969, Plymouth added the A12 package, which included the 446-pack engine. This engine had 3 two-barrel carburetors and delivered 390 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. It was very fast, reaching 111.8 miles per hour in a quarter-mile run that took only 12.91 seconds, according to the Superstock and Drag Illustrated magazine. The A12 package cost $462 on top of the $2,945 base price of the Roadrunner, and it was a popular option. Only 1,412 A12 Roadrunners were made in 1969. The Yenko Camaro 427 SYC is a legendary muscle car that was created by Don Yenko, a Chevrolet dealer and racer. Yenko wanted to offer a more powerful Camaro than the factory SS model, which was limited by GM to a 400 cubic inch engine. He found a way to order Camaros with the Corvette's 427 cubic inch engine, which produced 450 horsepower, using a special COPO code. He then added his own modifications, such as a fiberglass hood, special wheels, stripes, badges, and interior details. He sold 201 of these cars in 1969, making them very rare and desirable today. The Yenko Camaro 427 SYC was not only a street machine, but also a drag racer. Yenko himself raced one of his cars in the NHRA Superstock class and hired other drivers to compete in various events. One of them was Ed Hendrick, who drove a Yenko Camaro to a 12.59-second quarter mile at 108 miles per hour on street tires in a magazine test. The ZL1 engine that powers this car is a marvel of technology. It is made of aluminum, which makes it lighter and faster than the regular 427 engine. It can produce over 500 horsepower, and some say it can reach up to 600 horses with minor modifications. As reported by Road and Track, the 2945 pounds beast could blast from 0 to 60 in a stunning 4 seconds and zoom through a quarter mile in a mere 12.1 seconds at 116 miles per hour. The ZL1 engine was initially developed for racing purposes and was not intended for public sale. However, some Chevrolet dealers and customers learned about it and requested it for their cars. Chevrolet decided to offer it as a regular production option for the 1969 model year, but with a very high price, $4,718. Only 2 Corvettes were ever built with this option. The 1966 Shelby Cobra 427 SC is a rare and iconic muscle car that was designed by Carroll Shelby and built by AC Cars in England. It was powered by a 427 cubic inch Ford V8 engine, producing 485 horses and 480 pound-feet of torque. The SC stands for semi-competition, which means that the car was initially intended for racing, but was later modified for street use. The Cobra SC was one of the fastest and most thrilling cars of its time. According to Motor Trend magazine testing, the car took an astounding 11.8 seconds to complete the quarter mile at 121 miles per hour. The top speed is up to 185 miles per hour. Only 31 SC models were made, making them highly sought after by collectors and enthusiasts. The original price of a 1966 Shelby Cobra 427 SE is up to $9,500.